Hello, my name is Jeremy Scrime, and I'm an IronSpeed MVP and Senior Programmer Analyst with Warren County in Lake George, New York. In this video, I will demonstrate the GETCOLUMNVALUE formula, as well as show you how you can use the GETCOLUMNVALUE function in custom code. I've gone ahead and pre-created a sample application using the Southwind sample database that ships with IronSpeed Designer. Nothing more has been done to the application other than running the new application wizard and pointing to the Southwind database. The remaining scope of this video will focus specifically on the GETCOLUMNVALUE syntax and walk you through a demonstration on how to use GETCOLUMNVALUE both as a formula and as a function. Before we go through the demo, let's take a look at the documentation so we understand the purpose and syntax for GETCOLUMNVALUE. GETCOLUMNVALUE serves a very simple yet very powerful purpose. As we see in the documentation slide, GETCOLUMNVALUE returns the value of a column by using the table name and value of the primary key to indicate the specific row from which you wish to obtain a value. In order to use GETCOLUMNVALUE, we must supply the three parameters shown. The first parameter, table name, is passed as a string, and that indicates the name of the table containing the column you want to get a value for. The second parameter is a key value, which indicates the primary key of the table referenced in parameter 1. And the final or third parameter is a field name, and this parameter represents the field in the table you want your value returned for. Again, very simple, yet when you need a single value of a column in a particular row of a data set, this is your best option in obtaining that value. Let's take a look at three quick examples pulled directly from the IronSpeed documentation on GETCOLUMNVALUE. For the first example, we are looking to obtain the value of the contact name field in the customers table for the record with the primary key value of ALFKI. The second example shows us that we can use the URL formula in order to obtain our second parameter, the primary key of the orders table, and we'll return the order date for the past URL primary key value in the orders table. The final example is a little more involved, but demonstrates the flexibility you have in obtaining the three parameter values you need to pass to GETCOLUMNVALUE. In this example, we are looking to obtain a value from the user roles table. The particular field we are interested in is the permissions field. The key value we pass is an XML key value where we build the XML string setting user ID equal to the URL parameter passed as param user ID and role ID equal to the URL parameter passed as param role ID. We've moved over to our IronSpeed sample application. To get started, let's create a new form in the orders folder based on the vertical menu page template. Let's go ahead and give this form a name, Order Demo GCV for GETCOLUMNVALUE. And then let's go to our toolbox under the Reports and Forms tab and drag an orders table control onto our form. And let's go through here and set some stuff up just for demo purposes. We have everything on the Options tab the way we want it. We can click Next. And then we'll take a look at our Fields tab. And again, I'm going to just return a basic set of fields in order to simplify the demo and not cloud the screens with things we don't need to focus on. The one thing I will add back into our fields is the sales rep ID, which is the field in the orders table that we'll use to go back to the sales rep table in order to get the email for a particular sales rep. Closing this out with our search and filters. And then we can finish. And let's take a look at live preview to see what we have so far. Okay, we have everything that we specified. There's our sales rep. Looks like we're displaying the last name. To the right here, I want to display the sales rep email using the GetColumnValue function. So let's go back to design mode and into our order field section, and then switch over into our toolbox to the ASPX and other controls area. And from the Gen section, let's add a label and a literal. The text of the label, we're just going to type in rep email. And now we'll work with our literal, which is where we'll get into the usage of GetColumnValue. If we go into our formulas, initialize when, functions, under the database tab, GetColumnValue, the three parameters we mentioned in the beginning of this demo. Table name is going to be sales rep. The field is going to be coming from our orders record sales rep ID, and the field we're going to return is email address. So going back to live preview, with the use of GetColumnValue, we very easily have added the sales rep email for the order. And now I want to do one more thing with GetColumnValue in this area. So let's add another label and another literal. And similar to before, we'll set the caption of our label this time to email rep. And then go back to our literal, new literal control we just dropped on the form. And this time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to start out with an ahref tag for an anchor href with a mail to. This is a basic HTML ahref tag. And what we're going to put in our mail to is going to be from our functions database GetColumnValue. We're going to return from the same table sales rep using the same orders sales rep ID. We highlight key, right click, go to our DB record, and we're going to return the current sales rep ID for the orders record that we're on. And again, we're going to return the email address field. And then we have a little bit more work to do on this ahref tag. The second part, we're going to set the display to option. And for that, I'm going to start it with the string email, colon. And then we're going to use GetColumnValue once again. This time we're going to go to the sales rep table and return the sales rep first name field. So our table name again is sales rep. Our key field is from our orders DB record sales rep ID, and the field is first name. And then the last thing we have to do is just close out our A tag. And let's take a look at what we have. So there's the new column we added. If we click on one of these links, we'll be presented with a email form from our email client with the sales rep in the to field. That's nothing that I had to set up. That's part of Windows. Last thing I want to do here is show you the GetColumnValue and custom code. To do that, we're going to add a field to our PDF report that contains the 4 basic fields IronSpeed to put on the report for us. Let's go into our PDF button into the code area, and all we have to do here is add 2 lines of code, one to export an additional column that will read email address, which we'll do here. And then once we're done with that, we'll go down below where we're exporting each line of data from our orders table, and we'll add an export for email address, which we're going to do by using the GETCOLUMNVALUE function in custom code. That function resides in the base formula utils library. It's one of the libraries that ships with IronSpeed Designer. Just finishing this out here. There's nothing special going on here. I'm just following the example from the previous line, making the necessary changes to output a column that has a header of email address. Okay, we're done with that. We're going to go down here to the fields where we're exporting each row from the data set. Let's copy this line and put our comment in here to explain what we're doing. Here we're going to add an email address, and the first parameter is a basic data format parameter. We're not going to worry too much about that. We'll just let it output the field as it is. But the second parameter is where we're actually outputting the data, and from the previous line we were outputting the ship country. So let's delete that, and we're going to put in here base formula utils.getColumnValue, and then we're going to have the same 3 parameters we've used in the formulas tab. We're going to get a column value from the sales rep table. The primary key we're going to use is from the current record sales rep ID, and we want to return the email address from the sales rep table for the past sales rep ID. And then we're just going to say toString because getColumnValue does return an object, and we need to output it as a string. Okay, the last thing we're going to do, we're going to click Live Preview. Let me just check this over and make sure I got my syntax correct. And then we'll build our changes. And now we can close this out, click the Live Preview button, and then we're going to click the PDF button, which is going to give us a report of all the orders. And for each order, it's going to retrieve the email address for the sales rep on that order by passing the sales rep ID from each order's record. And that concludes the demonstration of using GetColumnValue in an IronSpeed application. There are lots of other good training videos to check out on IronSpeed's website, submitted by various users. If you are stuck on how to implement something, the website is a great resource filled with a wealth of knowledge on IronSpeed tips and tricks. I highly recommend this as your first source for any stumbling block you have encountered. Thanks for watching this video, and happy coding.